What up? It's me again. Came through a thought. Do one more video before the sun sets. Nice and beautiful. As you can see, hopefully you can see pretty well. Nice and beautiful, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, enough of the mushy stuff. Figured I'd go in a real topic. Been watching a few videos, and I watched this one in particular this morning. And I don't know. I try when I talk about these videos about race, I try not to sing the same song. I try to make sure that my audience has a complete understanding of what I'm talking about. And like I said, for those who don't know what I talk about, I try my best to clarify as best as possible. And I'm pretty sure a lot of other people do too. And basically it's about race identification. I've done several videos of this in the past related. And I've said a couple people, well, it's just how it is, I guess. It's how I take it. But, it's like when you have black people, a lot of times when I talk about black people, most of the time I talk about black American people. Now, I know people have criticized me on how I clarified and justified, of course, in my opinion, on what African American is and what black American is, and I basically explained through videos and vlogs what the difference. Some people kind of got pissed off about that. That's fine. And some people kind of thought I was some type of loon or something because I brought something that was pretty real and straight up realistic, And I believe one guy wrote a comment saying there was no difference. I don't know what you're talking about. And y'all the same. I'm like, well, that's a mentality some non-black folks, I guess you could say, have. And I basically, if you look at the videos carefully, I kind of somewhat brought a dry run, kind of rough draft explanation why I felt there was a difference. I mean, you do have people out here in America, and I'm talking about Americans, people, not African immigrants or first-generation immigrants per se. Like myself, I'm not an immigrant, born, here in the States. Parents, grandparents, great-great-grandparents, and great-great-grandparents were all born here. I'm not only black, I have Irish, I have Native American Indian, a lot of it, and it's very important. And that's another thing I wanted to bring about. I think I have no problem calling myself black. I think it's just a more commonized term here in America because it's like when you think of Americans, obviously America is a very diverse country. Or when you're talking about a particular group of people in America or a particular person, let's say probably one of the most famous Americans, Jackie Robinson. Obviously he's black, American black. Go overseas, American because he's from the States, right? Okay, that's just a little example I throw in. It's very diverse around here. One of the older countries that have been so diverse for a long time, very long time. And now it's like, with globalization and a lot of stuff that's so accessible now, so quicker and technology and everything, it's going to get diverser by the day, every day, by the minute, every time. And I think that as not only as black people, everyone needs to embrace that. The positives about it anyway. Black pride. I think it's a lot of missing messages sometimes with black pride. I just never really saw the sense of black pride per se because when I'm thinking about black pride, usually when I see people when they talk about black pride, they throw the little red, green, black and flag up. And it's hard now as I get older to see a positive message out of it. I see people who maybe get misguided by this a positive message that represents black people, but at the same time, just as an example, what if you think that the people that support the Confederate flag or who have ancestors who was part of the Confederacy and the Civil War feel that there's a pride for their ancestors, their heritage, or whatever, that's what they claim. What I'm saying? They'll bring up a similar argument that they feel is the same. So, and that will conclude to racial tensions two times, especially around this part of the world. But like I said, it's just an example. So when I hear like black pride or Latino pride or even gay pride, it's kind of like, well, I kind of have to watch how they talk about it because I really think critically how they talk about it because, I mean, not everybody meant to be in a positive way. Personally, me, I wouldn't say that because it's not. Like I said, it's like it doesn't make any sense to me, you know. And there's like the term African American. I'm not really offended by it, but I'm not a foreigner. It's just to me, it's just a foreign term. When someone out here say African American, I'm not thinking American first. I'm thinking, okay, you're from Africa. Yeah, and people say, well, Africa's not a country; it's a continent. Duh, I know that. And you got a European American. A European, to me, an African person. When I think African American, I'm thinking about African immigrant that lived in America a long time, got national citizenship or whatever. That's what I'm thinking. So I never really fully embraced the term African American, nor did I really embrace the similar type phrases. Yeah, but I came basically explain myself why I feel there's a difference because you do have those type of people who are Americans like myself, who are black but chose not to call themselves black. They feel like that's a negative thing. They choose to embrace or kind of adopt Afrocentrism, not in a way where it benefits us per se, but it feels like it's like they feel like they're lost, that they don't know themselves, and so they go to Africa on the basic senses that okay, I'm black, I'm African. Or you do have people that no matter where they are from the world, they're black. They assume that, well, okay, since she black, you're African. They just have this mindset that, well, you're African first, so they have the race first mindset. And that can be a problem sometimes, you know, because you have black Latinos, you have other people who might have some black ancestry, but don't necessarily look at it the same way. For example, real good example, and I admire Latinos a lot because if you look through all the complications and stuff, it's pretty simple. It's about where you're from, you know, and that's how they look at it. A lot of them I know, a lot of good friends, a lot of them they're from a lot of Puerto Rican, a lot of Cuban, Dominicans, and Mexicans, especially Mexicans. You know, so they got that real strong family tie. They got that real strong. They know how it is being family and stuff. And as being an American who is black, that's why I don't see much within my ethnicity. Not lately, anyway. But that's something that needs to be looked on. That's to be worked about. Now, so I look at other ethnicities within I guess you could say Afro diaspora or whatever you want to call it per se. Like the West Indians, Caribbeans, or African people from the continent of Africa, Nigerians, Ethiopians, Eritreans, or whatever, Egyptian, or whatever, and stuff. And they have their own values in their own way. So you come over here, you're still going to have culture clashes because one, there's differences. There's always going to be differences. There's always going to be someone's not going to value something that someone else values highly. It's always going to happen, you know. And there's always going to be some type of bait in the equation, whether it's jobs or whatever. And there's always going to be someone that's going to be mad about it. That's just how it is, unfortunately. So basically, yeah, you do have people that feel like, well, I don't see why you gotta call yourself black. I mean, you from Africa, blah, 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 blah. First of all, I'm not from Africa. I have African ancestry as well as Indian ancestry. I'm not the only one. There's millions and millions of us. And what tripped me out is, you know what tripped me out? A lot of black Americans don't really embrace the American nationality. I understand to a point, but what should be no excuse whatsoever is should be able to take advantage of that. A lot of black American people do not. Instead, they it's like you got a big old plate of food and you just shoving it out the way, you know. And you worked hard for this food, or your mom and your dad worked hard for this food, preparing this food for you, and you just shove it right back in your face. You know what I'm saying? And no, it's not no white man, Uncle Tom crap I'm talking about. I'm being real. I'm talking about yourself. I'm talking about myself. I'm talking about this is what I learned. This is where I came from. This is what I'm looking at from now into the future. You know, that's why I'm saying that's what I feel it is, because my heritage is American heritage. A lot of people say, oh, there's no such thing as American heritage, or African Americans or Black Americans don't have culture. You're full of shit. If you think that you are so full of shit, you're so full of crap. It's unbelievable, and it's very disrespectful if you have that mentality. unfortunately. And you got some people that say, oh, I'm African in America. Oh, yeah, that's some crap right there. Now, you tell me who's self-hating. I'm sure as hell not. Anyway, holla at your boy. Later.